Yo, so macros. So, what are macros? Macros are basically the building blocks to your calories when you're counting them. Macros, to be more specific, protein, fats, and carbs. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So, when you're tracking your macros, it's important to control your fat intake more than your carbohydrate and your protein intake. As you can see, 1 gram of fat is basically double the calories of a gram of protein or a gram of carbs. So, why are macros important? Why do I keep constantly stress on count your macros? Why are they important? They are important if you want to diet flexibly, if you want a flexible diet, if you care about eating that burger, if you care about eating the fries or the pizzas, if you are the type of person that want to enjoy life, if you're the type of person that want to be flexible with your diet, basically, that's what it is. They are also important because, like I said, they're the building blocks of your calories. You want to count your calories? Well, you gotta know how much macros you're taking, right? You can't have 3,000 calories all coming from fat. Like, that just doesn't make sense, and that is not a healthy diet. So you gotta space them out reasonably with correct ratios that suit your own body. And how you find that, you're gonna have to experiment and just in the beginning you have to stick with it, and then you will find the exact macros you need for your body. So you'll find how much carbs you need to take, how much protein you need to take, and how much fat you need to consume a day to make up for your calories intake for the day. So how do you track macros? How? Do you have to write them down on paper? Do you have to use a notebook or anything? No. We live in a world right now with great technologies, great social media websites or whatever, but there's this website and there's this app created for us. It's called MyFitnessPal. I recommend every one of you guys to go sign up, make an account there, and it's really gonna make you track what you're eating and how much food you're taking in so much more easily. So that MyFitnessPal is basically an app on an iPhone device. I'm not sure about Android or Samsung, but if you have it, go ahead and download it. Basically, it's an app for you to track what's your caloric intake a day, and inside that app, there's this chart, kind of like a nutrition table or nutrition chart you see on a regular food label or anything, and basically you look at the most important thing is you look at your fats, proteins, and carbs. If you have the correct amount of fats, proteins, and carbs build up to a certain amount of calorie that's suitable for your body to either cut, bulk, or just maintain your weight. So for that, you're gonna have to experiment. You kind of have to try yourself. If you guys have problem with that, I don't know what else to say, but for protein, it's really easy. If you're struggling with the macros, I would suggest for protein, go pound per body weight. So if you're weigh at 150 pounds, so you will take 150 grams of protein. And for fats and carbs, you just have to kind of play with those numbers. Some people can take more fat than others, and some people have to take more carbs than others. These things you have to find out yourself, and it's through trial and error. I would suggest for an average person to start around 2,500 calories and start splitting your macros from there. So you take the amount of protein. So let's say you weigh 150 pounds and you're a beginner to lifting weights or anything, and you take 150 pounds, convert that into protein, so 150 grams of protein, and then you times 4 calories to get amount of calories, and then you subtract that from your total caloric intake you need a day. And the amount of numbers you have left, you can play around with that, split that into carbs and fats. I would suggest maybe your fats should be around 20 to 30% of your total caloric intake a day. So 30% of 2,500 calories, my bad. So 2,500 calories. 30%, 20 to 30% of that, depending on how your body is, and because everybody functions different ways. Some people can take more fat than others, some people can take more carbs than others. And generally, you'll notice that, you don't have to cut much carbs. Like, carbs is really important. It really gives you a boost of energy while you're bulking or cutting. Yeah, when you're cutting, you want to cut out some carbs just to, drop the weight consistently. But still, you don't want to drop too much carbs and have just very, very minimal carbs a day. Because when you're cutting and you're doing that, you're not going to feel strong enough when you go to the gym. And you're not going to have the energy level you need to maximize your performance and perform at the optimal level in the gym when you're cutting. So carbs really important. It's not really a concern, and generally I think most people would be surprised how much carbs they can take in and still lose or maintain their weight. So yeah, so I will be explaining my MyFitnessPal here shortly. Should be on the screen, and yeah. And also, you might ask, what if the food doesn't have a food label? What if you go to a Chinese restaurant? What if your mom's cooking something and you can't really scan anything or scan the label to get the nutrition label? Well, you're just gonna have to measure and scale your food, unfortunately. I did this in the beginning. I'm pretty sure everybody in the world who diet this way do it in the beginning. What you do is you basically have to buy a scale, of course, and you scale amount of rice, cooked rice or anything, or just you basically want to measure your food and how much you eat. And from that, you can search on MyFitnessPal for the food that you're eating, example rice or beef or steak or sirloin and anything, and you just basically search for that and then enter the amount of food that you consume by the weight of it into MyFitnessPal. And yeah, and then that's the best way you can track your macros. And if you're consistent enough and you do that enough, when you go out to eat, let's say a restaurant and it's not really a chain restaurant, so you can't really find some nutrition labels of that. Well, since you have a lot of experience with measuring your food and you have an idea of what certain amount of carbs look like, or a certain amount of rice look like, or a certain amount of chicken look like, how much protein it is, you can really just estimate it and just insert it into your MyFitnessPal and keep track of it that way. And yeah, takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of time. Well, it takes a lot of time to learn actually how to estimate your food, but the amount of time for you to calculate your food and just measure your food and just insert to MyFitnessPal and keep track of it, it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes a day. I mean, how hard is it to scan a label? How hard is it to type white rice and search for it and then enter it? Like, it shouldn't take long, guys. It's also the best way I've found for me when I'm dieting, and I think it's a good thing for majority of the people to be aware of this and actually start using this. It's called flexible dieting, counting your macros if it fits your macros. It's really just makes your life so much more simpler. You can enjoy almost any food on earth that you would want once you're more used to it and once you've actually lived this lifestyle. You don't have to resist yourself from eating dirty food. You can eat just McDonald's, anything you want, as long as you keep it under control. And you don't have to eat brown rice, boiled chicken, boiled broccoli. I mean, yeah, that stuff is healthy and it's clean, but like, it's not enjoyable and it's not tasty, and an average person really wouldn't like that. And why do you have to resist yourself from eating tasty food when you can get just the same result as if someone just ate chicken breast and whole grain, whole wheat stuff, and just really bland food, and you guys could end up with the same result, while that guy was suffering so much and having just the worst time of his life dieting that way, when you can just enjoy a burger without, you know, sweating, or enjoy a burger without having any concerns at all. So in the long run, I feel like this is a better choice and just a simpler and easier way for someone to approach a diet, and it should be more suitable for majority of people out there, and especially for people who have food cravings. I mean, yeah, you can enjoy your cravings, I guess. Just control it. Here's a video of me filming a day of eating with me and how I managed to track my macros, and hopefully it'll show you guys how to do it and give you guys an insight how to do it. And yeah, I mean, in this video I ate pizza and everything, and I even ice cream sandwiches, and yeah, the next day I woke up still just about the same weight. Pizza for breakfast. Three eggs, 2.5 servings of egg whites, and 300 grams of rice. Yum. Meal number 2, some beef flank, ribeye steak or whatever, and some white rice. Yeah, buddy. 175 grams of beef and 300 grams of white rice. Ice cream sandwich, baby! Nutrition values are going to show up in your MyFitnessPal, and just add how many ice cream, cookies, or anything. Well, I ate this, so I ate 1, so I'm just going to add 1. And it's 11 fat, 31 carbs, and 2 proteins. So, yeah. Just scan this code. Strawberries, $2.15. 3 scoops of protein, 5 grams of creatine. $200 grams of grapes. Let's do it. So I gained weight while maintaining my body fat, just almost nearly as low as my cut from last time. And yeah, this macros thing, it really helps me out a lot, and helps out with the cravings, helps out with just my whole life and how it affects the people around me. And yeah, I hope you guys really give this macros counting a chance. I know at first it might be hard, and yeah, I admit in the beginning it was hard for me, and just honestly, just stay consistent, stick to it. It might be hard in the beginning, but once you get used to it, it's just like brushing your teeth. It's just like going to school. It's just like doing anything regular in your life. It just becomes a staple in your life, and it's just so simple, and it's really, really not time consuming. So these are macros, guys. I hope you guys leave some comments and let me know if any questions you have about macros. To find out how much proteins and carbs you need, honestly guys, just stay to it and stick with it. I mean, if you guys ask me for help, honestly, I will charge you $25 to help you find out your numbers. And if you're even more lazy than that, you don't even want to spend that time to get to know your body and learn yourself, then I guess you can ask me and I'll make a proper diet and just tell you guys exactly what food to eat and how much you're gonna eat, and I guess make life easier for you for $35. I mean, you know, this stuff should be free, and what's free about it is you getting to know your body and just learn from experience, you know. I can only help you so much. I can give you all this information. If you don't do it, if you're lazy about it, then sure, ask me to help you out, you know? Give me $25. All right.